money that I collected. It's honorable that brought
contribution to Nigerian peace.
Me, I want name all of now. Look at this.
But there comes a time when you want to take steps every day to make this country a better place.
And the new Nigeria is
indications telling them it's time to change.
This is introducing Ground Zero. Ground Zero is a current affairs discussion phone-in program covering topical issues in the polity. The program is a platform for an in-depth analysis of trending issues by professionals, authorities in various fields, analysts, and key actors in the polity. Ground Zero gives the listener an opportunity to contribute to the discussion via phone call, SMS, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. From the conservatively serious to the ridiculously funny, Ground Zero accommodates them all. Professionals, urban contemporary businessmen and women, policymakers, public service workers, students, artisans, traders, and the in-between. Ground Zero comes up from 5 to 6 p.m. every Tuesday and Friday on Invicta FM and 5 to 6 p.m. every weekday on Procyon Radio and Television. Ground Zero is a production of the Procyon Media. Tune in.
Yes, it's another lovely day and of course a beautiful one indeed. It's the last working day of the week. And like you know, the tradition is the last working day of the week is when we come with your Never Dull Moment program on radio. That's talking about the program Ground Zero. Ground Zero, like you know, is a program that is designed to bring up topical issues in the polity, and with guests in-house, analysts, experts, and of course professionals, we try our best to help you understand whatever is playing out in the polity. It's the election season, and all of the political parties are gearing up for the big one that's coming up soon. In just over 3 weeks from now would be the presidential election, and just over about 40 days or thereabout, around 40 days from now, would be the governorship elections. One major thing that political actors will tell you is that for anybody to be able to make much impact politically, that person must have some level of grassroots foot soldiers. Some people call it structure, but of course, some other politicians don't want to hear the word structure. While some would say the boot on the ground is the structure, some would say the warriors online are their structures. But how does that translate to vote for people? That is a big question, and we'll try our best to provide answers as to that particular question. Today on the program Ground Zero, I am telling you it's going to be very, very interesting, because in Nigeria, as we speak today, those that are vying for the #1 spot, I would say there are 4 very loud persons. I say 4 very loud because they are the ones that will readily come to the lips of even children that are in the primary school. When you ask them who are those contesting for the #1 seat in the country today, they will tell you that Atiku Abubakar from the PDP, Bola Tinubu from the APC, Peter Obi from the Labour Party, and also they would say Rabiu Kwakwanso from the NNPP. These are the ones that readily come to the lips of any person. But of course, there are almost about 18 of them that have been cleared by INEC. And these 4 seem to be standing out. Even out of these 4, there also seem to be 2 leading persons right in front of it all. And these 2 leading persons come from the former ruling party that has become the opposition and the former opposition that has become the ruling. And now the third force that, was it Obasanjo that first mentioned something like the third force about 5 years ago? The third force is also coming to play, but this time around, the third force is not just one single party, but there seem to be 2, because like I said, 2 other persons are just also gearing up. When we talk about the third force, we are looking at the Labour Party with Peter Obi and Kwakwanso with the NNPP. Even amongst the 2 of them, the Labour Party seem to be standing out from the NNPC, because the NNPC seems to be extremely very popular in the northwestern region with Kano as its epicenter, why the Labour Party cannot be said to be restricted to just only the southeastern zone. The Labour Party has quite a nice followership when we are talking about foot on ground in the middle belt, the southeast, and maybe the south-south. While NNPP seem to be only popular in just a segment of the country. Yes, you are listening to the program Ground Zero right here on Invicta FM and of course Procyon Radio and television. And today we'll be looking at the major opposition party represented here in the studio. I have quite a number of gentlemen, and we are going to be talking about the coming up election, the presidential poll, and of course the gubernatorial poll that will be coming up in about 40 days. Now, PDP, that's the People's Democratic Party in Kaduna State, are the major opposition party, and they seem set to upstage the coming party from their own perspective. But meanwhile, there are some rumbles and grumbles coming from the People's Democratic Party. And the reason for that rumble and grumble is the fact that the party seems to be divided against itself. While many would say it's not a division against itself, others believe that this division can be a big problem for the party. But before we go talk about all of those ones, we would like to tell you all about those that we already have in the studio and how they are going to be part of what we'll be discussing on the program today. And of course, yes, thank God fully we are back on Invicta now. Yes, let's go back to the main talk. And sorry for that little distraction. You know, with technology, you never can tell. But thankfully we are back. Yes, on the program today, we shall be looking at factions in the Kaduna State PDP and the chances of the party in the presidential and gubernatorial poll. And these factions, I would say, is something that is becoming a norm in politics in Nigeria. But is it same elsewhere? We wouldn't know. I have guests in the studio, and together we'll be discussing this and looking at what kind of factions do we have in the PDP and how do they, of course, intend to overcome the issues that they're having even amongst themselves. My guest on the program today, I have some gentlemen, not only from the PDP stock, because the discussion would have to do with rubbing off on other political party. I have Dogara Caesar. He's the National Representative, Youth Support Advocate for PDP, YSAP. Mr. Dogara, you are welcome to Ground Zero.
Thank you very much.
All right.
My pleasure.
Yeah. I also have with me already seated in the studio Honorable Victor Mathew Bobai. He is a former special assistant to Governor Makarfi, also Governor Namadi Sambo, and late Governor Patrick Ibrahim Yakowa. Bobai, you're welcome to Ground Zero.
Thank you, Ehis.
And also in the studio this evening, I have another young man, a gentleman, the youngest of them all. He is a regular on Ground Zero, actually, in the person of Samuel Johanna. He is an active politician and, of course, a public affairs commentator. He is from the stock of the All Progressive Congress. Samuel, you're welcome to Ground Zero.
Good evening, Mr. Ehis, and good evening, listeners at home.
All right. Also in the studio, we have some other gentlemen in the studio represented here, and I'll just let them do self-introduction. Michael, if you can bring the microphones to them. We'll start from close to me here.
I'm Otumba Olusegun Folorunso.
Otumba Olusegun Folorunso.
The former director of India All Progressive Congress, Kaduna State.
All right.
And now, National Coordinator of Independent Media Campaigners for PDP.
Oh, great. We also have with us in the studio another young man, extremely fair complexion.
My name is Zeniet Godwin Hillary. I am member Research Planning and Strategy, Labour Party Gubernatorial Campaign Council 2023.
Oh, good. Hillary, you are also welcome to the program. Now, let's go straight into talking the real talk, because the main focus primarily of what we have here today is the fragmentation or the factions that we have in the All Progressive Congress. Over the past week, we have heard in the media elsewhere that yes, the People's Democratic Party has a faction that are working tirelessly for Atiku Abubakar and also working tirelessly for Obasani, the APC gubernatorial candidate. I am trying to wrap my head around it, but of course it is not mine to say. It is for the persons that believe that they are political figures and players to explain to us. I would like to start from Caesar, because when we were speaking earlier, I saw some insight and highlights and did some little background check, and I think it would be nice for the listeners to hear your position to all of this. Caesar, tell us about, first of all, the youth support advocates for PDP, YSAP, and why you guys are taking your position.
Well, Youth Support Advocates for PDP is a group that was created around 2015 to advocate and promote the ideas of the People's Democratic Party, a democratic idea, which is built on good governance, maintaining democracy in Nigeria around the context of PDP. Over time, we have been alive in Kaduna, working tirelessly for the party in Kaduna and across the 36 states.
Okay.
And we have been doing well.
You've been doing well?
Yes.
All right. Coming to the present now, the youth support, your group,
yes,
took a position that many people would see that would sound strange to many people.
Our position is mainly
for
the interest of democracy in Nigeria. And when you look at the PDP in Kaduna State, that is in Kaduna State is only where we have problem with. You understand? The PDP in Kaduna State have not demonstrated the ideals of democracy over time, or in recent time, because when you shift from a democratic setting to an individual setting where one person or two persons sit down to formulate and make decisions for the party, it is no longer a democracy.
Okay.
Yeah. So building up to this, it is where this has led to the problems the PDP in Kaduna State found itself today. The factions generated from these ideals of not practicing what we call democracy.
Okay, what was the start point of this actually? Because I know there's never a smoke without fire. What was the fire that's causing the smoke now?
Congresses.
Okay, was there no Congress in Kaduna?
There was Congresses, but the kangaroo form of Congress.
Micromanaged?
By who? We don't know. Someone, you know, this kind of idea that someone will just sit down in his room and formulate names, or write down names of delegates because of the interest of a candidate they want to emerge. I don't know if you get the point. So
I am trying to get the point.
Thank you. So this is what has been happening. And now we are here to say enough is enough, because today in Nigeria today we have found ourselves in an atmosphere of chaos, economic chaos, political chaos, and what we need is a government for the people, and we can't have that when things are not done the right way.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wow. Victor Bobai, I know you are a strong and powerful member of the PDP even in Kaduna State. Can you tell us, have you had what Caesar said, and is it true?
Well, it's laughable. Being a very strong member of PDP since 1999 to date, although I had a little shift in 2018 when Modu Sheriff wanted to hijack the party. But thank God the Nigerian legal system was able to establish the major players and the real owners of the party, which is the Nigerian people. And power was restored to the Nigerian people, and PDP was back to stay at that time. So we, with Raymond Topesi and others, wanted to rebrand particularly a new political frontier, which is the ADP. But as it was cut short because PDP had an internal mechanism where she manages her crisis. So since after that, we have been back to the party and we are working very strongly, and by the grace of God, there wouldn't be any issue to start worrying whether PDP will not kick APC out of the mess we have found ourselves. So PDP sincerely in Kaduna is fantastically well. We have no crisis. Definitely, even in our families, we have one or two crises here and there that has to do with the issue of power, political power. When you contest election and you lose, you don't seem to be a sportsman to accept defeat. You rather go the other way to try to antagonize your own party. That we see here and there, particularly in the local government. Outside that, PDP is okay. And it is very unfortunate to say that with what is going on in Nigeria, we expect that opposition parties will come together to ensure a strong fold to kick a government that has plunged Nigeria into a more difficult situation, where if not by divine intervention, we might not have a country called Nigeria at the end of 2023 general election. So opposition, as far as I'm concerned, in Kaduna, leading by the PDP, are doing fantastically well, like I said, and they are leading other minute political party, sorry to use the word minute, to form an alliance to ensure that the will of the people is restored back to the people, because the people deserve something better with what they are saying. So PDP is okay, PDP is stronger. We have a leadership in PDP in Kaduna under the leadership of Honorable Hassan Felix Head, a fantastic gentleman. And we have 23 local government chairmen of the party. We have members of the House of Representatives from the party who represent the interests of the people at the National Assembly. We have State Assembly, we have local government chairmen, we have councillors. So PDP is well structured, well positioned to recover back what was stolen by deceit and all what have you.
Okay, before I will come to Samuel Yohana, I'll come back to Caesar. When we were discussing earlier and talking about the issues earlier, and your group is supporting the governorship candidate of the APC, Bobai, and from SNIPPETS that we heard from the media and elsewhere about the former deputy speaker appearing on a radio show and voicing out his support for Basani, and also just showing about what you said earlier. Your foundation actually was the foundation he built on. I'd like to get more details in respect of that, and why did it boil down to a support for a non-member of the PDP?
Okay, you see, like the motto of the PDP actually says unity, justice, unity, and progress.
Yeah.
Where there is no justice, there can't be unity. And where there is no unity, there can never be progress.
There's a chain reaction.
There's a chain to it. So that justice has long gone, because the PDP is now bent on the altar of impunity, imposition, and injustice. I'm talking about PDP in Kaduna State. Yeah. Because first and foremost, you already have this party that is structured around one single person. He is the decision maker. He is the alpha and the omega, the supreme leader. That alone is undemocratic. We advocated for direct primaries for a reason, because we already foresaw. But as God will do it, it never came to be. But what I am saying is that we as nationalists, we won't sit down and watch our future being marched to the ground by some old folks. It is unfortunate that this is happening in our political consciousness is not of 1999. It is of 2000 and it is of this 21st century. And we won't play political correctness with all these things happening. That's why we have weighed
the options.
You have weighed the options, and we have seen that, in fact, not because this guy emerged undemocratically. He was elected, yes, you understand. But this is a candidate that has no ideas. His programs are ancient programs, the Stone Age. For instance, how would you say in 2023 that your economic policy is to distribute goods to a bunch of old women in your village, while we should be talking about agrotech and 21st century agricultural means of production? He is not in our league right now, and that is why we have weighed. I'm talking about my own group, and personally, we have weighed and we have decided that, look, in Kaduna State, I think we only have 3 serious candidates. We have the candidate of the Labour Party, who is Jonathan Asake. We have the candidate of the APC, yes, because his ideas are clear. And we have maybe the candidates of the New Nigerian People's Party, that's Suleiman. Yeah. But as of the candidates of the People's Democratic Party, I don't know if Kaduna State needs him after an error fight. That is the position.
Okay, now, why the option for Obasani? Because I recall that the deputy speaker has clearly said Obasani was an option.
No, that is his position.
Okay. What is your position?
Our position is Obasani is still within our
radar.
Our radar. That's why I mentioned these 3 candidates. Jonathan Asake of the Labour Party, Suleiman Hunkuyi, all these are credible options, because right now it is not the time of political party affiliation. We will vote. Nigerians will vote not on the basis of religion, not on the basis of ethnicity, not on the basis of political affiliation. I believe it is time for us to vote on the basis of credibility, on the basis of competence and capacity to deliver good governance to the people. Because at this time, our economy is down, everything in this country is down. So what we need now is leadership. Okay. And if we cannot have this leadership now, then we are doomed for life. That is the position.
Well, I'll come to Samuel Johanna.
No,
I have to come to Samuel Johanna.
No,
I am the moderator. I'll come to you at the right time.
There are certain statements that need to be changed.
I'll come to you at the right time. Let me come to Samuel Johanna. Yeah. Samuel Johanna, you've had the options before them, and the former deputy speaker, indeed, on that program that I was talking about.
Professor Mathew Dogara.
Yes, Professor Mathew Dogara was.
Hamada Radio.
Yes, was very vocal about their support for Obasani, who happens to be your principal.
Distinguished.
Yes. Now, opposition supporting your party. Yeah. How are you guys taking it?
Fantastic. Obasani is a candidate to beat in Kaduna State gubernatorial election in 2023. I listened to both of them, and I know Victor Bobai very well. He's Caesar that I don't know very well, and I'm impressed with Caesar's point on this. You see, I said something some months ago on Channel TV Sunrise Daily that the PDP in Kaduna State is fragmented, and that led to the fight they had at Ranchers Bay Stadium during the flag of the presidential campaign. It was a show of force between two factions. And those two factions have grounded PDP in Kaduna State up to this very moment.
What factions would that be?
I wouldn't want to mention names because this is not the best place to mention it. But when push comes to shove, we will mention names.
Okay.
And you see, before we started this program, I said something. The way we gave PDP a dirty blow in 2019, we will repeat in 2023 in Kaduna State. A house divided against itself cannot stand.
Well, can we say that APC is also fully united?
There is no party that doesn't have one or two skirmishes. You get my point? But some, they are only, even in your family, you have skirmishes from time to time.
Yeah.
But some are negligible. While that of PDP is obvious that they are heading for doom. You see, there's a major problem that if they don't resolve it in good time, that will be the end of PDP in Kaduna State. You see this senatorial slot in Kaduna Central, if they don't get this thing resolved, I am telling you, that will be what will bury PDP in Kaduna State. Do you know Kaduna Central has the highest voting bloc in Kaduna State? And one of the highest in the Federation. Up to today, PDP doesn't have a specific senatorial candidate in Kaduna Central. And this is where the votes are. You see, Mr. Ehis,
yeah,
like I said earlier, a house divided against itself cannot stand. For Caesar and his group to say that this is the candidate they are aligning with, they have seen something that people like the Victor are not seeing up to this very moment.
Yeah.
And I tell you, the way we sat down here discussing this, we will come back here and sit down discussing how Obasani is going to defeat those other candidates.
Well, let me come to Victor now. He has so much to say in respect of some of the allegations made by Caesar.
If you want to be a very fair moderator, you also must be very ready to take what belongs to Caesar and give to Caesar, and what belongs to God I give to God. I am quite comfortable that you try to put me amidst two friends who are all from the same political party, trying to lie before national television or before national radio that they belong to PDP. There is nowhere a PDP man will go and support a presidential candidate and then go behind that same platform to support a different gubernatorial candidate, if not that he is induced or he's being used, to create crack within the PDP. I will come to that. I have facts and I have figures. I wouldn't want to bother myself whether PDP is working well. The last local government election has displayed the characterization of what the PDP entails in terms of people policy. We have seen that majority of the councillors in Kaduna State today are from PDP. We have a local government where PDP have 8 councillors out of 12. APC had 2, and yet they empower somebody to become the local government chairman. Where Governor El-Rufai, if he had executed absolutely what belongs to the people, he would not lose an election in his polling unit. He lost a local government election in his polling unit. We are not ready to begin to throw tantrums. Whether somebody in PDP is shouting, do APC or do ABGA. We are masters of the game. Don't forget, part of us went to APC in 2015 and took power away from Jonathan, simply because Jonathan was a Christian. We certainly realized that Atiku Abubakar was brainwashed, and he immediately returned back to the PDP, and PDP became very strong. Yesterday, I listened to Nasiru El-Rufai, whereby he is calling the villa to sit up because there are some people that are sabotaging Omilokon to become president. A governor who is a chairman of governors, a man who is given the mandate to lead over 5.6 million people in Kaduna is saying that his party is working against it. What sort of division are you looking for? If my friend Sam, who claimed to know me, well, I get to know him in one of these discussions. Sincerely, the truth is that in my village, if you mention APC, you will not come back alive. Ubasani tried it in Kudan. Children stoned him out of Kudan. What happened when Atiku Abubakar came to run Chasbis? The APC sent their talks. They jump into the arena with knives. I have a neighbor that I took to the venue. You can do your investigative journalism and you will find out about her. I don't want to mention name, but I will give you the details. Her phone was snatched. She was hit. Today she's allowed to testify. Go and find out. And the boy said, PDP Kaduna. She was deprived to exercise her freedom of association. Now, if you want to say whether PDP don't have policy, for God's sake, Najano too, who is a member of a strategic committee in the Presidential Campaign Council of the APC, throw out the rubbish and say that it is not good. When you say rubbish, something that is not too good, something that has a disaster to humanity, is a rubbish. Well, some people can go back and recycle it, but Nigeria cannot be recycled. She is back with Atiku Abubakar, as camera has shown that she is working tirelessly to ensure that the biggest unifier in the South Sahara of the Niger, not of River Limpopo, is Atiku Abubakar, who, by virtue of his matrimonial relationship, had a wife from the Igbo, have a wife from the Yoruba, have a wife from the Hausa, have a wife from the Middle Belt. Buhari had tested to contest election in different political platforms and he never won until he went to do alliance. That you have 12 million votes and you never became president until you form alliance with Abga, form alliance with part of PDP, form alliance with CPC, and then he won the 2015 election. Right. Now, let me say this before you go to the friendship we have around. PDP is going to come back to salvage this country, to rescue this country. In Ashuru 5-point agenda, when people say Ashuru is not learned, it is difficult to allow me to look at my friend Dogara Mathew, professor, who is well learned, who after everything, this same de facto person they are talking about, in person of Alhaji Ahmed Makarfi, stood with him to ensure he won this election and became a deputy. Dogara is fine. I will not come to a national radio to cast aspersion against a fantastic personality. I can only say what needs to be done from both ends should be done. But the PDP cannot be distracted by people they sponsor into the PDP. We already know them. The good thing is if you know your enemy, you know how to handle him. But if you don't know your enemy, you will definitely be afraid. We are not afraid of Ubasani because Erufai had already told Kadalites that the man that is coming after me is worse than me. If Erufai will destroy people's houses, collect people's market, grab land, put the insecurity situation in Kaduna to a disaster. Because in my village today, very few people live in Gorak, and that's where I come from. People with uniform of the Nigerian military have come to kill my people, and nobody protected them. Are Nigerians or are Kadalites going to vote people who couldn't protect them? What is democracy? What is good governance? Good governance is if you can secure life and properties and provide the welfare of people. Today, before I drove to this place, just by Banana Complex, I saw unprecedented number of Nigerians queuing up to only get 5,000. Money they gladly took to bank, but they cannot get it. It is painful.
Bobai, you have nailed it the way it is, but we are still coming down to what we started out. Why do we have fractions in the PDP, which he has explained that they have issues with the way things are done? And Victor, you may not talk much because you just spoke for almost 10 minutes. No. Uninterrupted. Yes. Uninterrupted. I need to answer you. Yes. Caesar, ask him a question.
My boss here, Victor Bobai,
he was a member of the reconciliation or fact-finding committee that were sent to my own local government to go and investigate the issues there. Please kindly ask him, what did they
ask
do?
Him directly.
What
did you do with the findings of the reconciliation?
Well, secondly, sir, he spoke about campaigning or supporting Atiku and then back here against the PDP. It is normal. It is normal for crying out loud. It is not about nationalism. Back to the era of Ronald Reagan. The reason why Ronald Reagan was nicknamed Reaganomics, if I'm right, was because he was able, even as a Republican president, to bring around the Democrats for the prosperity of the American economy. Secondly, if Obama became president in 2008 with over 5 million votes of Republican, Republican votes. So right now it's not about party. Let us shift party politics. Of recently, please, the Senate election in the United States.
Yeah.
We have a Senate leader that was supported massively by the other party to become Senate leader for a just cause. So
the Senate leader is Republican and he got Democrats votes.
Democrat votes.
It was not 15 times before he was able to win.
So the idea now is not about political party. Let's talk about Nigeria first. Then we can come down to political party. Yes, I am Atiku, but it doesn't mean I will be Ashiru in Kaduna. Back to the way, it doesn't mean I will be PDP. In fact, I will vote for Atiku. Here, I will vote for anybody undecided. When I go to the area, I will vote for my APC. It is I will say this.
If I understand, you want to do rice and beans.
Rice and beans with plantain.
Let me answer the question.
Yes, quickly too. And please, if you can squeeze it into 2 minutes, I will be very happy because the phone lines already buzzing. We've missed 60 calls already.
All right. The truth is that he asked of the report, which was submitted to the party. Dr. Alimi Yao Abakar was the chairman of the report on the fact-finding mission why PDP lost a Lere House of Representatives during the runoff. The truth is that the members of the PDP in the Lere local government had told us clearly that due to certain imbalances within the ranks and file of the leadership within Lere, they couldn't be able to manage it. And certain people were indicted, and the report has not been made public. There is no way I'm going to bring out the report, which is against the party principle. But the truth is that in Lere, we have a leadership of the party, and the leadership of the party is recognized by the National Working Committee. I want to make a correction in terms of the Congress that was conducted. The State Working Committee don't organize congresses. Congresses are being organized from the Wadata Plaza, from Wadata headquarters. Whatever they send, the leadership of the state party will facilitate. Okay. Now, the returning officers were appointed at the national level. So whatever that went wrong, these same parties have gone to the national headquarters of the party and petitioned. And that petition had been given adequate attention, and the party had been reconciled, except for some very few elements who felt that they are not okay with the leadership because they had somebody who contested the election and lost. He contested against Felix Hassan Head. He got less than 400. Hassan got over 1,000 plus. And if Hassan could win more than twice the amount of votes his opponent got, it means that Hassan is grounded, he's favored, and he's loved.
Let's take some calls now. 0809-4646-206 and 0809-799-1989. Nifemi, are we on with the phone now? All right. Okay, I just missed that by the whiskers. 009. Okay, there. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ground Zero. Yes, you are welcome to the program. All right, Kure, let's have it.
Yes, you see the way this country is going now, whether you like it or not, me, I'll do it as this. Whatever that I want to vote in Kaduna, and due to injury that I had from APC, I don't think they have any candidate that I will trust him again, because the APC have gone and left me. And I urge other parties, they should come alive so that they will push APC out of power. Not only in Kaduna, in whole Nigeria, because they have not given us what they promised us. That's wonderful. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Kure, the rice and beans expert. All right, 08094646206. Hello, good evening, welcome to Ground Zero. Okay. And of course, you can go to our various social media handles. You can watch us live on Facebook, live at Procyon and TV. We'll come to the studio in a bit, but let's take some calls from our listeners before coming to the studio to take questions from the studio. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Ehis. Good evening to the guest.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Yes. Ibrahim calling from Kaduna.
All right, Ibrahim. Let's have your.
You see, we have no problem running the democracy to actually. So the way, the issue is this. Once any time anything like this is coming, we must stop to listen and hear and see what is going to happen in the future. That is not the prayer. Use of our excellence is the fact that any needs to be controversy. All these are both the signs of the good things and wonderful that will come. Very good. So to me, don't ever play out.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Like I said earlier, my name is Dr. And I would like to sound philosophical here because some of us have been in this game for long. They say, by their fruit you shall know them. The game at hand now, it is how we should come together collectively to change the system and rescue the state. When you say by their fruit you shall know them, Ashiru, as somebody who is an ally of Alhaji Muhammad Makarfi, Ashiru as a person who is a friend of us and yet who I have been working with since 1992, cannot come to the state and arrogate power of as Mr. Noel to himself. Imagine how somebody just come to Agbon and destroy the entire road, and you don't have a program of repairing the road. So my brother my brother Caesar, your point is very clear. Every family has its own problem, but in life always look at consequences, not causes. Look at the consequences of bringing back APC to power for another 4 years.
All right, Hilary, you have a question for the guest?
No, I have a contribution to make. We have the APC and the PDP going back and forth and all that. I just want to take a different stand. I want to make this clear that Labour Party is the new wine in the new jar. The Nigerian citizens are tired. The Nigerian citizens are hungry. The Nigerian citizens are famished.
Wow, Hilary,
yes, sir.
I quite understand and appreciate what you're saying.
Yes.
And of course, it's very nice.
Yes.
But also tell your principals, they need to be on this program. They have consistently refused to come on ground.
Okay.
I think you have nothing to say.
Are you referring to the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate of Kaduna State?
From top to bottom.
Okay, from top.
Yes.
That's Buhari's statement.
Or whatever.
Okay, now
we was supposed to be on ground zero. Last minute we didn't turn up.
We will get.
Attack was supposed to be on ground zero.
We will.
Last minute.
I believe they are listening to you now. And aside that,
as a member
of the Planning, Research and Strategy Committee, I'll make it a point of duty to take it back to the committee to get our gubernatorial candidate to this place.
All right, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Let's come back to the guest. Mike, if you can have this. Let's come back to the studio. In 1 minute, Samuel, give us your cap.
My parting shot?
Yes.
You see, he's like, you brought me here to be an observer in this program.
And you were a wonderful observer. Because the few words that you said.
That's the beneficiary of the crisis.
Yes, it's the beneficiary of the crisis. All right, Sambo.
Very relaxed.
Yes, exactly. All the job was done for him.
You see, let's face facts. Caesar know what he's saying, and Victor knows what Caesar is saying that is true, but he just doesn't want to accept the reality. The primaries,
we're not on the debate.
The primaries,
PDP has no crisis.
Sambo, you actually have spent almost 1.5 years.
You cannot speak. You cannot speak about
it. This time is not let him to land. He'll jump into your time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you see, for us, Kaduna, like I said, and the country where the party to be, and come March, when the governorship election will take place, we will come back here after that, and I will tell you that I said we're going to win here, and we won. Because you can't compare the PDP gubernatorial candidate and that of APC. They are not on the same page. That of APC spent 3 years in the National Assembly and the Senate and presented 32 bills.
It's not time for campaign. Let's move on to Victor. Let's move on to
Victor.
Victor.
They spent 8 years, no single bill.
Victor, your party shots in 2 minutes maximum.
Yes.
1.5 minutes.
My wonderful candidate, Right Honorable Isa Ashuru, the man we call Major Giant Akwewi, has done it in Kasu, where Ubasani, Suleiman Hunkwe, and him were brought before the Kadalites. And I will ensure that that tape go viral so that people can check the pedigree of what Isa Ashuru is built upon. Sincerely, Nigerians are tired, we have suffered, and I have no problem with Professor Dogara Mathew.
All right.
We are going to synergize to ensure we put the differences and kick ABC out. Enough is enough.
Caesar, give us your parting shots in wrapping up the program now.
I have a problem whenever other mentions another name. We are here making a discussion. Someone's opinion is not my opinion. Someone's position is not my position. Moving forward, I would like to go back to what Otumba said. You see, I am sorry to say that you all are thinking in your own space. We have a new thought now. And the new thought now is unstoppable. The new movement is unstoppable. You can't stop it. Yeah, the youth have their own movement. People alike, we all have our own movement. Yeah? So I think you should let's just maintain the status quo and we move. Talking about PDP in Kaduna State, I think it is for PDP to win elections in Kaduna. The gubernatorial election is like a camel.
Provider camel passing through the whole of the.
It's not true. We're winning. PDP is winning.
Victor,
elections will prove it.
Allow him land.
Allow
him land. You have your full time to say.
No, but elections because here we have candidates, one of which has spent 16 years, just like my other here says. One of which spent 16 years.
Now you can see the alliance.
16 good years without sponsoring one single bill. Even if na bill we will carry.
It's not about bill.
You actually have 30 seconds to.
It's not about them. What is your primary aim of being a legislator?
We are talking of.
We go beyond that one. We are wrapping up now.
Thank you very much.
Finally,
Nigerians should look ahead towards the future. We should go for candidates who will do well, not for our own selfish interest, but for the good of the nation. We should vote based on pedigree, based on capacity to deliver good governance. Thank you.
All right, and that's about the size of the program this evening. Until next Tuesday, when we'll be on for another part of the program, I want to sincerely thank Samuel Yohana for having time to be on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Bobai, and of course, Caesar Dogara. I appreciate you all. Hoping that next time when I invite you, you will be coming because this has just started. There's going to be a rematch of this particular game. My name is Ehis Agbon. I want to appreciate the team, not forgetting in-studio guests Olupolorun Shaw and Hilary Ziniet, and of course to Mathew over there linking us to Invicta FM, and right in here Nifemi, Grace, and Michael, and of course to Sarah. I appreciate you all. Until next time, like always, plant the tree and water it grow. May the good mighty Lord bless and keep us all.